How do you feel about outside breeding? Did you let a lot of people bring their females to you?
I do allow it, but I did make people do the Brucellosis test just because it will wipe out your breeding program. It's on your, on the property, whatever. Because a lot of times these people come, they don't know how to breed a dog. If you don't know how to do your own AI, if you don't know how to breed your own dog, and you just can't get it done, you're failing at it, just don't do it.
Give your dog the best start possible. We offer proven tools, products, and supplements backed by our real-world experience and our passion for healthy dogs.
Always smiling in your face, yeah.
Welcome to NWA Cane Corsos Podcast, where we talk all things dogs.
The hate and the envy so strong. They posing as a friend, they the ops gotta watch. All up in your business, trying to count your pockets. Gotta watch for backstabbers.
I'm the true champion, and they make me the underdog. I'm gonna show them all they're wrong because I'm the champion. I'm the real champion. There'll never be one like me.
Welcome back to the NWA Cane Corsos show. I'm your brother from another mother. Welcome everybody back. If you've never been here before, this is a show where we talk to dog men, dog women from all over the world. They ain't have to be giants in the world. They just got to be special at what they do. And today, we have Alisha in the house. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Good to have you. I was telling you, my boy Isu spoke so highly of you. He has a dog from you. And that means a lot when you got dog puppies and things from, like, that's the person you want to talk to. Yeah.
Full of, I'm a book full of knowledge, good realness for, 7 years? 8 years, right around there. I've gotten a few different breeds. I got the Bull Terriers, the American Bull Terrier, the Ultra Bull Terriers. And I have the Presas, which the Presas use my main big eyes focus side. The Bull Terriers, the Presas, my phone dog. I do bite work with my Presa Canarios. I show my Presa Canarios. I help test my Presa Canarios. I try to my Presa Canarios. And I look for a stable temperament in them. And a lot of people get on the Presa and on the kick of, really defensive dogs. They want a dog that just bites. You see a dog biting on the chain. The dog's supposed to protect the property. When you take it off the property, it's not supposed to be that hot. You're supposed to have to follow your dog. My biggest thing is people get these dogs so powerful and they can't control the dog. And that's my biggest thing is the key to a successful dog is environmental work. And to work with your dogs and have great obedience on them. Without control, you have a loose cannon. A lot of reviews could probably agree with that with the Corsos as well. The breed is pretty similar, besides it comes from two different origins. For what kind of questions you had that you think would be a very good point to start with?
Well, okay. Well, let's start with your beginning in dogs. So which one did you start with first?
So, okay, backstory. Back when I was a kid,
Yeah.
most people say, you don't breed when you're a kid. My first litter of puppies, I had a beagle dog Dachshund mix. Well, I had a litter of puppies. I want to say 5 or 6 years old. I ended up leaving one of my dogs that would be a bred because obviously I couldn't pick the dog for a C-section. And by the time I realized the puppy was stuck inside the mom, too late, getting green, the uterus was no longer valuable. The puppy rotted inside the mom. I grew up breeding Labrador retrievers in Prostate, I grew up on east side Toledo, which is not the greatest place to grow up on. I was working at a Jeep and Chrysler factory, and we were having these discussions. I've never heard of a Presa Canary. I was thinking about getting a Cane Corso. And, I wanted a big dog for a guard dog, and I wanted a Cane Corso. At that point, my buddy at work said, I got me a Presa, a Presa Canarios. I was like, what the hell is a Presa? Oh, Presa Canarios. He's calling it the wrong thing. Like people saying Cane Corso, Cane Corso, and I'm like, so I looked in, Presa, and I did the research, and then I ended up finding a male that was neighboring home, a Presa Canario. Well, I get this dog, I wanted to show it because started into showing stuff. And okay, backstory, my pressing or my Latin, or my Latin Packer Spaniels, those are going on 10 years old. So I've been breeding for some time now. You know what I mean? So I'm not just an inexperienced breeder and I just come into the Presa and just decide I'm doing it this way. But I set my bar high when I got into the Presa. Like I wanted the standard. I wanted the dog that I wanted to breed. So I got this dog. It came with papers. I got him for free. I drove like 2 hours away to go get this dog. It was a Microscope dog. Lacking temperament, super undershot, ECVSC, front feet, and it was a genetic mess. Because after I read the standard of the Presa, I'm like, this ain't it. So then, like a year later, I ended up buying my first Presa, which was Remy. And I loved Remy so much that I bought Quest, which these two dogs were from Bear Claw Kennel. Remy had a forked tail, so I got it amputated, so she looked like a big old Corso. She was 28.5 inches tall, 145 pounds. She's a big girl. She's still alive. My cousins have her. And then I had Tess, which was the complete opposite, like the devil, like the dog you couldn't crate train, the dog that was screaming the crate nonstop. Like Remy was the angel, Tess was the hellion. But Tess is the one who started it for me for the show because Remy I couldn't show because of her tail. So I started showing Tess, and she was pretty hard in the showing, like hit or miss on who I could show her to under specific judges because she was very temperamental. So if I got like the feeling that she would get act up, I would withdraw her from the show because I didn't think it was appropriate for my dog to act a fool in the show because you could lose your papers for a bad temperament dog, like snapping at a judge, drawing at a judge. Yep. So I did my first breeding with a dog named Bourgeois, which came from Rockefeller Kennel, which a lot of people say Rockefeller's is a show kennel. But I'll tell you, Bourgeois was probably one of the serious dogs I've ever met. Very devil-like, which then produced Zeus, which Zeus was my main stud for the longest time, which is my baby. That's my boy. He produced a lot of dogs. I have him on ice. Okay, we're gonna get past that. We're test produced. I did about 3 litters on each bitch. And probably the first litter on each of them was probably my best litter on them, except for Tess's last litter. I did dual sire breeding. Now, not many people do dual sire breeding, and I can tell you,
I know about that. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the proper way to do a dual sire breeding.
Okay.
So, you're gonna do your surgical AI, but you're gonna take it back and you're gonna do your progesterones, and your progesterone is gonna take you to your surgical AI. Which, when you do a surgical, you're running at the tail end of the progesterone. So you're saying anywhere from like a 17 to a 25. You want to do that surgical, depending on your vet. Don't quote me because each vet is different.
Machines too. Yeah.
Yep. So at the tail end of that, you're going to do the AI surgical. So I would take both my males that day, or I will collect here. I'll take both my males, and I will mix that semen at the vet's office, and then the vet will inject the semen on both sides of the horn. A lot of people do this. They'll take one male semen, put in one horn, and put semen in the other horn. Don't do that. Because if they don't take, you're only going to get one side that takes and not the other side, so you don't get a mixed breed. So I had a 6 and 6. And I've done dual sired breeding several times, and I had success almost every time except for, I think one time I didn't mix the semen or something, or the quality of the semen was kind of sluggish compared. So it was a Psycho Zeus breeding I did, and they all came out Zeus's because Psycho semen was like a little bit not as swimmy. So I've also, to get into the swimmer issue, I can get into that because there's been dogs that I had that had no sperm, that had like an infection in the prostate. Basically what that does is it'll cause the prostate to swell, your sperm isn't producing, And so what you'll end up doing is doing like a 30-day on doxycycline. And if that doesn't work, which you're going to pull your dog, you're going to check under the microscope, checking for sperm. Like there was nothing but bacteria when you would pull this dog. I'm talking about, yeah. So when you get bacteria, when you're pulling sperm, you have no sperm in there. You could try doing that. Some antibiotics like doxycycline, you start seeing the sperm in there, but they'll be dead. So it kills the sperm, but it kills everything in there. But after sperm recycles about every 90 days. So you start seeing a little bit of motility come back. But then sometimes if you don't clear that infection good enough, you want to use a stronger antibiotic such as Baytril. So Baytril, you're going to run the dog on for another 30 days. And this will also help come back with the sperm. Your sperm won't be dead on Baytril, but that's also a broad spectrum antibiotic, but it's very harsh on the liver, so you have to be very precautious on what you use and don't use too much. And obviously don't use it on puppies because that's going to fuck up their growth plates. Pardon my language. But so you don't want to use Baytril for like a super long term. Like you can get if people need any access to any of that, let me know. I know a website, from Ukraine. We can get antibiotics and things like that. But so when you get to the sperm and you're checking motility, like I tell everybody, go on Amazon, get you a $60 microscope.
Yep.
Jerk your dogs off every fucking month. Check their sperm. It's always good to blow the sperm out. If you got a stud, you like your stud, get rid of the nasties, get it all out. Because it sits in there and it ponders in there, and that's what causes the bacteria to grow, especially if you're breeding natural breedings. So after that, I just mainly did AIs.
Okay, but hey, since we on the topic, how do you feel about outside breedings? I mean, did you let a lot of people bring their females to you? They got that little, not a little, but that canine STD. What is it? Brucellosis?
It's called Brucellosis. I do allow it, but I did make people do the Brucellosis test just because it will wipe out your breeding program. It's on your on the property, whatever. And if they're not, then we meet up, we do an AI. Whether I ship the semen or I meet them there with the dog, jerk it off there, whatever, and then inseminate the female for them. Because a lot of time these people come, they don't know how to breed a dog. So you're doing all the work 99.9% of the time, It's like a lot of people, I don't understand why they want to breed a dog if they don't even know how to breed a dog. If you don't know how to do your own AI, if you don't know how to breed your own dog, and you just can't get it done, you're failing at it, just don't do it.
Yeah.
There's even family members. I have family members. Oh, I got a Presa from you. I want to breed it. Like, you got to do this, this, and this, and then I'll breed your dog. But even if you do this, this, and this, you're not guaranteed puppies. You know what I mean? It's not a given that you spent $500, now you don't have puppies. I said, that's part of being a breeder. You fork out all this money. There's no guarantees that you're going to make money. And even if you do get a successful litter, doesn't mean you're going to make anything for them.
Yeah.
Because it depends on what you put into them, what kind of money and time, and whether you can get the money you're asking for them. Because not just anybody can breed a Presa and ask for $5,000. They'll look at you and laugh at you.
Yeah. And people, money is tight right now. The pet industry, you got to know if you're going to breed, or do you need to breed, do you not? A lot of times when I'm breeding, I'm looking for something for myself, you know what I mean? First and foremost. Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I was doing for the longest time until, zoning don't like the Presas, and you got neighbors crying about your damn dogs, and you had an accident and it wasn't even your dogs, you're just boarding dogs to make money when you're off work, So it's just a whole ordeal. Like, a lot of people think, oh, it's cool. Like, before I moved in, I've been at this place for like 7, 8 years, we just got thanks saying congratulations on being here for so long. I'm like, I've been here for that long, and I had over, 20 plus Presas on my property for that long until we had neighbors move in that apparently don't like the dog.
Didn't like the dogs, yeah.
Yep.
Wrong neighbor could change everything.
And I mean, it moved in and they knew I had the kennel there because it wasn't like I was hiding anything. That's wide open in my backyard. I have 3 acres, you know what I mean? So that comes to buyers, you should be very, very keen on like your province that you live in or your zoning, and make sure you're allowed to have these dogs. And if you want to be a breeder, you should probably look into that. Before I moved here and bought this house, I actually called the dog warden, and they said you can have as many dogs as you'd like as long as you tagged every single one of them. So I bought a kennel license every year, had all my tags, 15 to 20 tags a year, never had an issue, and then you get dogs that you're boarding, and I had elevated kennels fall over, and then the dog houses fell off the back, and a pit bull and a bully got into a fight, and they said it was a Cane Corso and a pit bull or whatever got into a fight. I said, I don't have Cane Corsos, and the two dogs that got in a fight was a pit bull and a bully. And I ended up losing a dog that time, not like it lost, like died, but I had to go searching for this dog for 2 days. And so it showed up. And one dog was still, there was 3 dogs that got out, my Bull Terrier, the bully, and the pit bull. And the only dog that was mine was the Bull Terrier. And she didn't have a mark on her. She had blood, but she had no holes, no nothing. Um, and back to breeding puppies and all that. So you like have to make sure you have all your whelping supplies, your whelping area. You can't just, most people, game people, they let their dogs have them out in the dog houses, which is fine. You want to do that. That's how you want to do it. That's fine. That's not how I would do it.
Yeah, that's that old school shit.
It's that old school stuff, and I'm one of those people that are like, I'm not doing a winter litter because that's more work on me. I gotta clean up all this shit. And
Winter litter.
a winter litter. I was 8 months pregnant and I had a litter of, thankfully it was only 6 puppies, and I was taking care of them, and I was 7 months pregnant, bent over, cleaning this kennel daily, scrubbing on my hands and knees, and I'm like, why did I do this? I'm like,
I've done them, boy, but I had a mean setup. I've done them outside, but I had a mean setup. I had it very
indoor.
Yeah, but it's rough. Winter litter's rough. What?
The water, just keeping it clean. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, take care of your dogs in the winters. It's tough. You live in Ohio. You get cold. Shoot.
oh, it gets below 0 here, and it's only like for like 4 days. But during those 4 days, I bring all my dogs in. Like I'll put them in the shed, close the doors, turn my heaters on. That means I gotta let all these dogs out, and I put dogs in my dog room, which I could fit. I could fit all my little dogs, but when I had the Presas, I couldn't fit them all in my house. That was 15 dogs, you know what I mean? I'm like, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I put all my good dogs in the house, and then, the bad dogs that like to shit, piss in the crate, they went out in the shed.
Right.
But I had like a space heater up on the ceiling. I turned that on, and I put straw all up in kennels and pack them up, and then they get it out a couple times a day, and that was their life for like 3-4 days. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, when they
and thank you. And people that have 20 plus dogs, they keep that shit in their house. I'm like, that's nasty. Like, you can't have that many dogs in your house. I know you can't rotate and keep them maintained and stay clean, but 'tis their own. I won't do it, but someone else can. If that's their cup of tea, that's theirs, not mine.
y'all got a crazy animal culture in Ohio. Like you got see Cane Corsos everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because
There's a lot of breeders here.
hell yeah, some of your biggest breeders are there. Tony Scandy, Derek Matson. Shit, y'all got to be saturated with Corsos.
Yeah, Mom. I actually did a cross once with a Corso with Zeus, and those puppies turned out pretty fire. Mean little fuckers.
What? Yeah, they got that similar ancestry. A lot of people say they can't tell the difference, but I can.
I could tell. There's been some Corsos that come to the showering, and their head type looked a lot like Presa, but that's the old school Corso head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's a damn good looking goddamn dog. I said, I love that. Mwah. But one of my girlfriends, she's been showing her Corsos for years. Her mom's been a breeder. Leahy, she's a doctor actually. And they have some really, really big Corsos. But they're beautiful. They're big. Won a lot of shit, like an Emerald Grand Champion or Ruby Grand Champion with UKC, and then went on to the AKC. But you meet a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Meet a lot of people at the shows. And then we have our UPPCC working event / confirmations coming up.
What does UPPC mean?
It's the United Presa Canario.
Look at me.
Can you? Yes. geez, I'm drawing a blank here. But basically, it's the original registry that we have started for the Presa Canario to be recognized by UKC. So that we're like the sister club. So we can get dogs registered from out of the country with the UPPCC. And then you can get your papers with the UKC. Because other than that, if it's not FCI, if it's not UKC, or AKC, or FCI, so any of those three, you could take that to UKC and get paperwork. But if it's like, say me, I imported dogs from Dellarina, which is Germany. He uses his AVD paperwork. Well, I can't take that to UKC. I can't get papers with the UKC unless I go to the UPPCC. So normally I would take them to the UPPCC and then I'll take them to UKC because I show and work my dogs, so I needed my UKC papers. So little touchdown on our event coming up is if people live around Florida and want to join, it's open to all breeds. So basically us, me and our board had put together our working event, which is our courage test 1 and 2, and then we have the temperament test, and then we also have drive-use puppy, and then we have hardest hitting female and hardest hitting male, and then I added tug of war, and we have lure coursing, we have precision, and we have agility, or I'm sorry, and rally basically, and then we have weight pool. So we have our own weight pool, and then we have a place called the W3PO, which is the Worldwide Weight Pool Organization. That was started by Tony Yoakum. So that's going to be there on Saturday and Sunday. And then like our show is based. Have you ever been to like an ADBA or AADRI show or seen anything for the pit bulls? So basically, we set it up similar to that. So we got the puppy class, which is 3 to 6 months, and then it's 7 to 9 months. And then we have best of opposites. So you're going to take the first place female and the first place male, and they're going to compete against each other, and they can win a trophy or a big ribbon. And after all those puppy classes up to 12 months, we have a best of show puppy. Well, you can get a big ribbon for doing best of show puppy. If you win the best of opposites, you get to go in for best of show puppy. And if you win best of show puppy, you can actually compete with the big dogs, the adult dogs that come back in and try to go for the best of the show.
Okay.
So I kind of set it up where we have more options and people can win a lot more that way. So I think it's going to be really exciting and something big for the Presas. And
Right.
like I said, the Presas Temperament is going to be no touch at our show because a lot of people's never been at a show. And if you've never shown a dog, if you take a dog to a show, it's pretty nerve-wracking. There's a lot of things going on, and it can set your Presa off, and it's not worth.
Yeah.
It's not worth an accident. So I was like, we're just gonna do this so it's safe for everybody because not everybody knows how to show a dog or their dog hasn't been properly socialized. So we're gonna not meaning like the dog should be able to be touched by anybody, but like properly socialized, like being off the yard, knowing to behave a certain way, when to behave a certain way. So like a control on off switch. Like some people don't do bite work with their dogs. They don't do obedience. They just have them run the house or they leave them out in the kennel 24/7, never do anything with them. So this kind of gives the opportunity for people to do more things with their dogs without having to train for it. And it's makes them more comfortable to just be able to take the dog and come to our event.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: do you got a bulldog background? Cause you into the pit bull. You know what I'm saying? America's #1 dog. Some people say, the Bull Terrier. Well, you a real dog one, boy. Do you show too? Just confirmation.
I do. I have. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a mess in here. My kids had arts and craft time, and I was making them words.
Oh, it's all good. I just been yelling in mine about that.
This was a couple of years ago with Convoy, Reserve Bestest show, sponsored by Pressamania. This was my best black with my male puppy. Best conditioned, I won with Rala. Best tug of war was my Bull Terrier, which he got. There's another one. I got 2 more out on the back porch. And then Judge's Choice male and best puppy on my male puppy. Then these are Rala's. And there's my Bull Terrier. And there's my Pit Bull. This was from Zeus when he was pulling. That's a Beast of the East, most weight pulled. And then Rala.
Okay. Yeah, that's coming up too.
Rala rookie dog of the year. And then we got we went to UKC and pulled with this was Jokers. These were all like Jokers, and I mean Rallas and Jokers all over here. So we got plenty, and then we got more over here, and then more up here. But we do. Oh, and there's a whole pile of them I didn't even put up, and then we got this one here, and like I said, I got a couple more out back. So the coolest one I thought was the bestest show in Texas at AADRI. My puppy at 6 months old had won that, which was my black pit bull puppy. And then which one of my heads fell off that, but I had those two from a couple years ago, and then we got more up here.
Jeez Louise.
And then yeah, so I mean I got quite a bit. Like this is my dog room, and it's like I said, we had arts and craft and was making some stuff, and we got the pacer here, then we got the carpet mill here, and then we got our slot mill here. So we're like working, and then like today before I was even on the phone with you, I was dragging dogs.
Right.
So
Right.
the training is never ending.
Yeah. You got kids, dog, and work.
And I got chickens and turkeys and ducks and I'm a Boilermaker, so
Yeah, you're a Boilermaker. Yeah.
I'm one to be busy, okay?
Right. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. So the lines you run in Delorino lines, is that you still running those lines?
That's my favorite one.
That's your
I'm not
favorite?
gonna lie.
Why?
Why? Because the drive and the intensity, the speed, the agility, and the health is all there. So Delorino has been doing this for a very long time. He's been breeding and health testing these dogs, and I want a clean line with the health testing. So, like the female I have now and the male I just use, I have my puppies off that right now. I don't. I might have one sold to debt, but anyways, all the puppies are pretty much gone off that. I had 11 puppies, 9 females, 2 males, and the male was heavy Delorino, but he was from Canada, Tonto d'Arsenal. And the creature was from PWA's Creature, which was off of Roscoe, and Ash. Well, Ash was from PWA, which was Presas with Attitudes. And these dogs were both basically like Creature's half of her pedigree, or top half from Guineas Catacoma was her dad that was mainly the Delorino side, which that dog, he looked like a damn pit bull. He worked like a fucking pit bull. That dog, you could have beat the shit out of that dog and he wasn't going to give up. He won the PCA level 2 back when we did it a few years ago. That dog was a monster. I love that dog. I love Creature. The male that I bred to actually flew to Germany and was tested. Go sit down. Was tested in Germany and had earned his titles with AVD, which I thought was one of the coolest things. And I'm one of the only breeders in the press community that has bred to them, and the only person that has sold per-run puppies as full-blooded Presa Canarios, because the guy that breeds them is actually a band dog breeder, which is where I got my male Bull Terrier from. He's a big dog man too, like Ivanek. So the Delorino dogs are just like a cleaner dog. Like if you want to add the prey drive to make a sport prospect, the thing is too with these dogs that come from Delorino, their nerves are so sound because they're heavy prey. But at the end of the day, the prey dogs aren't going to protect you. They're going to see a suit and they're going to go ham. Or, you know, like you can stand there, they're not going to do nothing because you don't have a suit on. You could come carjack the car, unless you got a suit on, they're not going to bite you. But that's why I like to have that little bit of difference in my defense and my prey, because I could send the dog downfield if needed. But I also like that defense because some dogs, they figure it out. It's a game and they're not going to be serious. So I add that little bit of defense to it and that dog will stick that bite, you know. So that's just one of the things I like. Like I've also liked my dogs that were heavy defense, but I could still send that dog down the field. Will it be as fast down the field? Will it be as agile as a Delorino dog? No, but it'll get down there and stick you. But you still ain't gonna beat the dog off you.
Right.
You just piss it off.
Right. Now, so I was looking at some of your pictures, but I seen a lot of young dogs, right? So do you have the heavier Presa line, or because I see some real lean, athletic looking dogs in there?
I got mainly all lean athletic.
Okay.
If they get too small, I'll add some bone backing, which I have like Zeus for that, and I have Legend, which Legend's off my Dollarita dogs. So Legend was off of Tonto too. And my Dollarita bitch, De La Rena, which was Hera, W Hera De La Rena, and she ended up breaking her back, like coming out the doghouse or something. So we had to put her down. But she was a nice dog that I imported as an adult that already had titles coming to me from Arnie.
Oh, okay.
Now, Legend's a serious dog. Like, you would have thought from being heavy Dollarina that he wasn't going to be a serious dog, but he's bit some people, not intentionally, but they were in the wrong place at the wrong time coming in the property, you know, so
Right.
he's had his fair share, but that was a serious dog, and he would fight for days and had no legs given. I had Zeus and him one night. I come back from weight pull. I had him both in the back of the truck, and I put Zeus in his kennel while I didn't latch his kennel door. And I was feeding Zeus, so I let Ledge out, go to the bathroom, run around the yard, because he has a good recall. He's got good obedience, good recall, so there's no reason not to let him off leash on my property. So I thought he was just fence fight with Zeus. Like, I fed Zeus, so I thought they were fighting over the food. This is pitch black out. And next thing I know, I walked over there, like, get the fuck in your cage. And I'm like, where the fuck are you? You know, I'm looking around. He's a black dog. I don't see him. And next thing I know, I hear thrashing in the kennel. He broke into Zeus's kennel, like, pushed the whole door in, and they're thrashing around. And I'm like, I'm 130 pounds. So I always tell people, like, leave a choker on your dog.
Yeah.
Leave a choker. I had a flashlight on my phone. I dropped it in dog shit, breaking up these two dogs in the middle of the night. I'm like, choking Legend out. Zeus listens to me. So, like, as soon as I was choking him out and I got Legend, like, he fell asleep. Like, asleep, and I'm dragging a 140-pound dog to his kennel across, like, 5 feet. I told Zeus, I say, hey, Zeus come at to try to fuck him up while I was choking him out. I was like, get the fuck in the truck. And he takes off, you know. I'm like, and then he comes back again. I said, get the fuck away. And he, like, runs away. I'm like, and I'm dragging Legend back, and I thought I killed the damn dog till he was choked the fuck out. I'm like, please wake up. You know, I'm like, please wake up. Like, Zeus only got one hole. Legend seemed more fucked up than him. He was off. But Zeus had a black eye. His blood vessel in his eye popped, and I didn't get bit because I know what I'm doing, you know. Like, most people, they want to go in there and try to rip mouths open, and you don't want to get in the middle of it. If anything, let them tire themselves out, because they're not going to kill each other. They're not bred to fight like that.
Yeah, but if it's the right two dogs, sometimes ain't a lot you can do. I tell my wife, man.
That wasn't the first time I had a dog fight. And then I had one dog on a tie-out, and I went in to go clean a kennel, and one dog busted past me, and it was 2 males. Yes. So I got a 100-pound male, because he wasn't a very big male. He's about 110. And I had another male that was about 125 bust out. One was on the tie-out, on a flat collar, and then I had Hunter. I'm on the phone. The other male was out on the tie-out, or not out. The one male was on the cable or the chain spot, and the other male busted out, and I had one of these cable tie-outs, so I lassoed him as he was, like, tied up with the other dog grabbing him. So I lassoed him, and I choked him out, and then the other dog was, like, grabbing him by the feet as I was dragging him away, because, I mean, he was on the tie-out. I couldn't choke him off, and I'm just one person. I was out there with my kids, too. Like, my baby was in the stroller. Like, my son was, like, brand new. It was either my son or my daughter. Time flies so fast. It's been 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
Right.
There's times, you know, a lot of people don't think about carrying a brake stick. I didn't carry a brake stick until I got into the pit bulls.
Yeah.
Now I got a brake stick, and some of my pit bulls ain't really that game, you know. So I don't need it for mine. It's just other people's dogs that want to get mine.
Right, yeah.
Cause I got weight pull bred. Like, I got one weight pull bred pit bull, and then I got 2 that are supposed to be game bred dogs, but, you know, sometimes they take a little bit longer to mature. Like, my oldest one is 2, the other one's 1, so they're just getting there.
What lines are the pit bulls you like?
I don't know if I'm so new into the pit bull, I can't even tell you. Like,
Okay. Looking for the breeder that's doing what you want, like the weight pool, and that's who you selecting from. Are you
Well,
select?
the one I recently got, he's off of Fresh, which I don't know if many people know Fresh, but he's won some nationals. So, and then I have a female named What, which her mom and her dad, which is like Dewey and Woe, 2 bits kennel from Dewey, and then Woe is what's mom, which John Martin was her breeder, and she is weight pull bred out the ass, and she weight pulls really good. Like, but you still have to put the time and the training into the dog to do it. But their genetics are made up to weight pull, and they just very much know how to pull.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what most of these competitive people like. When you come to the ADBA, the UPF, and APA, and the Bully Max pulls and stuff like that, they're coming with some heat. They ain't coming with that shit that you just pull out the backyard and say, run with it. And they've been training all year. And if you ever get a chance to go watch these dogs, it's phenomenal. Like, you'll be like real surprised on how much effort and heart that these dogs got. And I'm like, I wish there was more dogs that gave me that much love for me to have them pull like 10,000 pounds and they're 40 pounds. You know what I mean?
I was watching some of your video. I was like, geez, Louise. Them suckers get it going, and here they go. I said, whoa, have mercy. Boy, but that's crazy. Hey, I want to ask you right now in front of everybody. We talked just briefly before one time, and then just here. I want to have you back one day. I want to just talk about the whelping process, even stuff you want to do with the parents, because I know that. You know how you could talk to about, yeah. And it's all okay. Yeah, she
Down.
yeah. But what I do want to talk to you about right now is your breeding philosophy. How aggressive of a breeder are you? Do you believe in any inbreeding? What's your favorite style? The cousin, niece to nephew? What yeah.
I told you before, my favorite and the best breeding I've had was my cousin to cousin off my lines. Which it was a little scatterbred, but when you took that cousin's, your uncle, it was what I tell you, the cousins, you take the cousins, and if you really like the uncles or the aunts on that side and you cross them back, you pretty much get the copy and paste of that third generation back. If you like the dogs in third generation, you want to stick with that, then that's what I would do, is kind of take your cousin breeding, and it kind of brings everything back forward. And it locks in those genetics. But like, you want to make sure that these dogs are healthy before you go crossing anything, because you're gonna double up on the bad, you're gonna double up on the good, and you're definitely not gonna get all like healthy dogs. So you may not see the problems now. You may see it 10 years from now. You may not see it until they're 5 or 6, or you can see it immediately. Like, for instance, I've done breedings by 7 months old. I health tested the dogs, and it come up on the embark, and then embark update stuff, and then comes to find out the dogs were both carriers for it. Well, here we got a dog that I kept for 7 months I had to put down, but it's not nothing that I didn't do, it's just stuff that pops up. And we can do so much to try to make everything perfect, and we can't make it perfect. So my best thing for people is, if you want to guarantee your dogs and be that breeder, you guarantee your dogs and put in a contract. But a lot of times, I'm going to tell you from doing this for many years, nobody cares about a contract. Nobody cares about health testing. Nobody cares about none of that. They just want a dog. And if there's a problem with the dog, they're coming for you.
You're coming.
They're coming for you. It does not matter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And as you as a breeder, you got to be professional. You got to be the best way I could say is kill them with kindness, make it everything about them, and if they need something, you give it to them. Because if not, it's your word, it's your reputation, you could sneeze and they took it the wrong way, so you just limit your speaking on what you do, because if not, it could turn around and bite you in the ass.
Yeah. You want to under promise and over deliver if you can. You know what I mean?
That's right.
But but you're right. You got to be very careful. And I never really had any major issues with dogs. There's always something's gonna happen. You deal with livestock, but and I don't deal with a lot. I don't sell to a lot of other breeders. Boy, would you deal with a lot of other breeders, where you can open up some?
I actually, 90% of my puppies actually go to other breeders.
You bold. Woo, you bold. Yeah.
To be fair, I open up, since I cannot keep as many dogs as I like, I open up the opportunity for my fellow Presa lovers to co-own dogs with me. So it works out for me and it works out for them because they know I don't breed bullshit. They know I work
Yeah,
my dogs and I breed
okay.
great dogs. So if they didn't want the dog and they, it starts off with them asking me for the dog. And then I'm like, oh, I'll think about it. And then it's usually, all right, I'll give you the dog because I can't keep the dog anyway. So I might as well give it to somebody that wants to work the dog and put the effort into the dog because I cannot. So this is where it comes to like do the beneficial thing for your kennel and do the beneficial thing by the dog. Because like, say if I wanted this dog and I got so much shit going on, I don't have time for this dog. Why would I keep that dog for myself and leave it locked up in the kennel when I have someone that would be a perfectly good home and do something with it?
Yep.
Does that mean I make money off that dog? Not right now. Maybe later if it passed the health testing. But
Yep.
it's always a gamble when you're breeding dogs. Like I said before, it takes time to be successful, and you can't just do it right away or rush to do it because it's not going to work out for you. I spent $40,000 or more at the vet in a year when I was breeding. Like I had all those dogs. Like it was just a lot. When you take dogs for rabies and, pro heart shots and you do everything the right way, do it by the book, all the C-sections, all the vaccinations. Like I do my own vaccinations. The only thing I don't do is the rabies. The rabies I do because obviously they're Presa Canarios. They can bite people.
Yeah.
And I don't want my dog to be put down over something stupid. So
Right. Yeah. I do all my own shots. And
which I have another place for that too. So we can always get on that too.
okay. Yeah, you need to let me know if it's besides revival and all them joints.
Yeah, it's besides revival. It's Pet Supplies for You or something like that. I have the email with my invoice on it, which has her information on it. And I've been getting it from them for a very long time. So
Okay.
um yeah.
Yeah.
We can get into supplements and workout plans and antibiotics and best wormers and best places to get wormers. Like people never heard of coccidia. People treat for brown worm, but they don't know of the tapeworm and what treats for that and coccidia or giardia. So that's like one of the things I want to go over too as well. Probably on the next podcast.
Yeah,
But
we
like,
need to do that. We need to do a proper worming regimen. You know what I
yep,
mean? Yeah.
yep. And then like the same thing with heartworm, I can give it. If people can't afford the vet stuff, I have a cheaper way that I've been doing it this whole time, and not one of my dogs have been heartworm positive, and they live outside 365 days a year. And I live in Ohio, and the people that need to hear this are the people in the southern states that need to pick up on this because their heartworm rate is crazy due to swampland. So that's something I want to put on topic because treating a dog for heartworm, that's $2,500 one shot, and they get like 3 sets of shots.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: when you had all those dogs out on the property, did your vet come to you?
Sorry, I had to text my husband back. He was asking about mashed potatoes. Um, he would come if I asked him to, but normally I just load up 6 dogs in the dog trailer and make my way to Toledo, which was an hour drive. I have my vet on speed dial, so if I needed something at 2 o'clock in the morning or nothing, I could just call him and head that way. So I was probably one of the lucky people that found a vet that takes care of me the way that he does. If I needed IV bags to take care of my dogs when they're sick, like Creature had a retained placenta. The last litter, she almost died, and he was giving me my stuff. I paid for it. I brought her home. And I was treating her at home, Saved me a lot of money.
It's a place to learn how to do that. Yeah, it is. Yeah, to learn it.
And I mean, I could also teach you guys on how to do that too, because I could do it on, I did it on Joker too while he was here. So as you can see, I have my medical stash over here hanging up. And I do use my kennels inside the house, and I do treat my dogs in the house, in the kennel. I don't sedate my dogs for none of this either. I can get sedation stuff, but I don't tend to like to sedate my own dogs. I just take them to the vet for that because they can be monitored. I'm not a veterinarian. I don't claim to be. Excuse me, you're in my seat, honey. Bad kid.
Who schooled you on all your medical and who mentored you? You know a lot.
I'm a vet tech dropout. So I learned all my stuff from experience and just in and out the vets, and I
Right.
kind of just taught myself on things and picked up on all that good stuff. Let's
Yeah,
see.
your first 2 years in the dogs, I noticed you're gonna have a lot of bills from the vet. Right, yeah, dewormer, yep, the Visital, yep. Yep.
Totrazol, bendazole.
That's where your coccidia, right? Right there, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
You got your oxymate,
Oxymate.
cephalexin, amoxiclav. I got Baytril in here. I got calcium, magnesium,
Yeah.
Mag Plus. I got Geek. Here's my Baytril. That shit's expensive.
Yes, it is.
Calcium citrate for females. Geek. And then I guess if I could find my damn thing, I want to go over this with your whelping.
Yeah,
What
Farnageek that's for female fertility, right? Farnageek?
that is to make your mama dogs produce some milk.
Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah.
That right there will save you some money. And then I have a recipe you can make to also help produce some milk. But you don't want to give too much or stop doing it because then it won't work. But I'm gonna tell you this: I found feeding the bitches raw before bred, during pregnancy, and after pregnancy, their tit milk is on point.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People, you know how you go spend $20 on a little thing of. Let me show you this little thing over here real quick. Oh, there's like $30 for this little thing, little paste right here.
Yeah.
This Whelping. I'm gonna show you guys something. This is something cheap. This
Yeah,
right here,
for
CalMeg gel
Yeah.
for cows,
Right.
and you'll never have an issue or run out of that shit.
Right. A
It's
lot of people need to realize, like that Tractor Supply aisle when it comes to the horses, some of that stuff you can use for dogs. You know what I mean?
I get that on sale, like $5 a tube. I'll take that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like a kid at a kitty store. I'm like, all right, there's this supplement here. I need this right here. I'm like, oh, yep, I need this calcium ascorbate. You know what that's for?
What is it?
That's your vitamin C. That's the only thing that your dogs can absorb. So like when you see rickets in a dog and their feet are kind of like go like this, that's rickets. You know, then they're knuckling. You need a lot of vitamin C.
Right.
So I give that on top of a vitamin D pill just because it's lacking vitamin D and vitamin C. So I kind of do that, and then I lower the protein. So I'll go to the store and I'll buy some cheap ass dog food like Howie Chow.
Yeah.
Put them on the nastiest dog food, and their feet will straighten right the fuck out.
Yeah, cut that protein down. You show right.
Yep.
That's me.
Um,
Yeah.
And same thing with Pano. Like there's a Pano recipe if people get Panostasis because you got giant breed dogs too. So I'm sure you've seen Pano where the dogs walk to find one day and the next day it's limping real bad. And and then it goes on and then it'll be fine. And then do it again. And you're like, man, what the hell? Lower the protein.
Yeah.
Lower the protein and put them on a special little protein diet.
What do you feed?
Right now I feed raw. I make my own raw. I sell raw. I do once in a while feed kibble. I'll do spots between Inukshuk and the new Victor. What the hell is that called? It's not the new, but it's the old, but it's 30-20 blend. It's in a blue bag. The hell.
Is it? Yeah, I saw it, but I'm not sure what it is. I quit using Victor, man. We was having.
I
we
had to
had-
send you. Hold on, I might be able to go out there. And I got a whole tote. I'll go out there and see real quick.
We was having issues with heat cycles, man. A couple years back, when we was on Victor, but
Well,
they made
and that
me plummet
that
it.
too, I forgot to tell you about when it comes to your sperm fertility. Green lip mussels, you can get it off Amazon. You can get it in a capsule. And if you give 2 tablets to your male every day when you feed them, it'll help your fertility and your sperm count.
Yeah.
Here's Joker's other tug of war trophy.
Oh, nice.
He got first place, and then Hunter wants to show you Monster's best of puppy, his last puppy one. He says hi.
Hi.
She said, "What's up?"
Is your husband, he 100% in with the dogs as well, right?
I don't know.
Oh, it's all you got to do.
That's his. Yeah, there's a. I'm lucky if I can get him to feed the dogs for me when I go out of town.
Oh, boy, my wife, she helps me. My wife and son. My son is home, too, so he out.
I do.
Uh-oh, you there?
I do like that. Okay, so that's the next level. That's the next level. Yep. Oh, hold on.
Level, okay. Yeah.
Yep, that's next level. I do like the Explorer brand too. Explorer's not bad.
Right.
Come on, Hunter.
Now,
But anything with the 30-20, I like.
30-20? That's okay.
Yep.
Right.
Except for in the wintertime, because I try to keep the weight on the dogs, so I don't necessarily need the 30-20.
Mm.
But basically just something with lower protein and fat, higher fat, lower protein.
Right. Yeah, because just thought you would go.
Making my raws, all I have to do is pick up some fat from the butcher. And we could also do a podcast on raw if you want to teach a podcast on raw too.
Okay. Yeah.
I pick up from the butcher. They usually sell fat anywhere from $1 to $2 a pound.
Uh-huh.
And I just add that to my dog's food if I need more fat to it.
Yeah. I got a whole bunch of honking fats sitting in my freezer. I got all kind of shit. I go get where I get a cow, I give me it all.
The bones and everything. Bones, balls, uterus.
Yeah, I'm looking for this deer meat now. Yeah, I need some of them ribs. Yeah.
You know you can get a cow head when you butcher your cow, right?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I ain't never fed one.
They sell them in Indiana. Me, Jamisha, Jordan, we all got one. The one year we went to Indiana, we all brought one home for the dogs and dogs. There's some meat left on it, but they got to really work on it. It was a lot.
Yeah.
Then you got to worry about the flies. Girl, why are you getting that candy bar out? Dad's going to make dinner. Go.
See now let me get into another question, because we never really talk about this, but we all have this issue. How do you deal with flies?
I use those fly traps, and I'm a raw person, so I put a piece of liver in there, and then I use that eucalyptus or horse spray from TSC. But usually when I feed raw, the flies are down like
they down.
immaculate. Except for when I make the raw, they're all over. But when I feed the raw, their poop don't smell as bad. It don't smell like death.
Yeah.
So they got too terrible.
That's what I missed when I was feeding total raw. That you're right. The flies are not down. The cleanup is not bad. It was just smell a little pretty out there.
Another thing is I run co-ops for the Foundation Raw, so I can get us pallets anywhere as long as they meet the pallet weight, which is 2,400 pounds. So it's $268 a pound for any blend that we have, except for the bison venison and the complete AAFCO blend. But most of them that are in the 80-20 or 80-10-10, that's what I feed. I just add my own supplements, but for $268 a pound for a beef raw. Not bad at all. I'm like, sign me up. So that's why I sell that, but I make my own turkey blend and my own chicken blends.
Of course.
Anything I can grind meat bone wise, I'll make. But if I can't, then I get bone shavings. But I have my own grinders. I grind turkey necks, chicken leg quarters, chicken necks.
Oh yeah, you got chicken. Yeah, you got chickens out in the back. Yeah.
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 Yeah. They're in bed right now. They're sleeping. They didn't want to come out. They said.
Oh, okay, good. Well, Alisha, we hitting real close to the hour. I appreciate you coming. And Isu, man, Isu, thank you, brother, because he know what kind of guests we like and everything. And he got it right, man. And like I said, I want to have you back, knock out some more topics whenever you can.
Absolutely. I know you're more about the presses and stuff, but I just got so much knowledge I want to share about everything else. You know what I mean?
You said I'm about the Presas.
He said no. I want the knowledge.
Oh yeah, but I'm the Corso. But yeah, I we over here we all things dogs. We be talking about anything. I think the other night we had a subject that went crazy. It was on can a dog assess a threat? And you wouldn't think that would be a big topic, but it was, because trainers and breeders think different.
Yeah.
A lot of, yeah. So
I mean, nobody's going to think the same thing. Nobody's going to agree on everything. So I would just, at the end of the day, it comes down to this specific dog. It can't just be a wide variety of things. It's a specific dog in question. You can't just, that's the way I think. Like, I could have my dog over here and your dog over here, and I know what my dog's going to do, but you're going to say your dog can do the same thing. But at the end of the day, you won't know until you test them, right?
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let the dog speak. That's why I tell people, let the dog speak. Shut your mouth, I'll watch the dog.
That's why you got all that hardware around there, ain't it?
Shut your mouth and watch the dog. Work the dog. That's all you got to do. Let the dog work.
Yep, that's what's up. Okay, well, Miss Alisha, I thought you.
It sound like a good idea.
Okay, yeah.
She said it. That sounds like a good idea, Mom.
That's right. It is. Well, we thank you for coming, and we definitely gonna have you back. And peace out, and stay safe for the next time we talk to you.
I got a meatloaf waiting for me. I'm ready. All right. See you later. All right.
Step into the realm of canine wisdom with our podcast, NWA Cane Corsos, where we interview dog men and women from around the globe. Discover their talents and insights on breeding, training, nutrition, and the rich history of dogs. Tune in to the most underrated yet influential dog podcast on social media. Your journey into the dog world starts here.